Hello guys, today I'm gonna be try to sharing a paper mentioned in Dr. Jeff Dean's 2021 Google Research Annual Report. Its title is Fine-Tuned Language Models are Zero-Shot Learners, or paper, the FLAM paper, okay? What does it do? First of all, they're trying to resolve the zero-shot learning issues. What is zero-shot? That means you are given a task, but you do not have any transcribe the data or label the data. All you can use is a pre-trained model. Or some people prefer the terminology unsupervised unsupervised learning model, or the latest word is a self supervised learning, or SSL. But this is the word I prefer, pre-trained model. How to use the pre-trained model to solve the task. But generally, indeed, nobody is actually doing the zero shot. Usually, they're trying to leverage something. The first thing could be, can you do few shots learning? Few shots, which means you can just give usually you can hook up the pre-trained model with some decoder, so you can use a few shots to try to train your decoder, so it can get something output, right? And the other thing is, it's still zero shot, but you have some related tasks. Suppose this task is natural language inference, but you have some other tasks, transcribe the data, for example, QA tasks, right? Or name entity recognition task. Those tasks are labeled or supervised, trained. And then you can use these things to assist or aim at the unsupervised task. I think today's paper falls into this category. They're trying to leverage some knowledge they learn from other tasks to solve the issue in this task. Here they did some comparison. They're saying that usually what people can do is, suppose you're trying to ask, has Russian astronauts been to the moon? Yeah, I can't remember this. The answer, so you're trying to resolve the question, right? So here they're talking about the GPT-3 few shots learning or some other zero shot learning method. What they're doing is that they're just getting the transcribed data from other tasks, and they're trying to learn, what do you call that? Either recursive neural network model. So once they learn this neural network model, they're just trying to use this, for instance, RN, to put these words as input, and hope the final word, which is output by the RNN, can generate the correct answer. Okay, yes, no, or probably, or I don't know. Okay, and as you know, there's RNN is definitely trained. Usually is in this architecture like I mentioned before. This is RNN is more like a decoder, right? And your encoder is more like a BERT encoder or something like this. And they are saying that the zero shot stuff is the yellow bar here. You can see in the figure 1 for different NLI task, RC task, closed book QA task. The yellow shot, the yellow bars is the result by zero shot. It's not random guessing. It's better than random guessing. So you can see that the RN stuff, it learns the correlation between words or the relation or the prediction behavior of those words. And so you can get something there, but it's not there yet. And they're saying that you can also use the GPT-3 model with a few shots learning. Few shots learning means basically, I think zero shot learning means that you don't have the decoder, but zero shot means no decoder. You're just using the BERT encoder to predict. But the few shots learning, you can have a decoder. Okay. And they were proposing something that's really amazing to me. They're saying that they can have a smaller encoder model compared to GPT-3, but with zero shots learning, and they can do better than the GPT-3 with few shots learning. Okay, let's see what they do. Well, I think their fundamental idea of their proposed stuff is that they group those NLP datasets into clusters based on their task type and hold out each cluster for evaluation while instructing fine-tuning a language model network on other clusters. So let's say this one, figure 2, the instruction tuning. Suppose you can see this is the way they cluster those tasks together. I'm no pro of NLP. I know some of them, but it's easy for you to understand, okay, this is reading comprehension, right? This is a group, and each one is a task, a specific task. Thanks to the researchers who have been collecting those data sets through the year, and so we can have so many variety of testing set, training set in different categories, so they can group these things together. And they have so many groups. And what they do is, suppose they're given a task A, okay? You're supposed to tackle the task A. What they're doing is that they use the pre-trained language model, and then they trained, or they call that instruction tuned. This is their special terminology. You have to learn it. Instruction tuned. They cannot tune on task A, right? Because you're not supposed to touch any labels or transcribe the task A. But they're assuming that for the different task B, C, or D, in different these tasks, you have the labels, but you may get confused. So they say they're doing the zero shot, but why they could have some labels? But do remember this. I think they are not explaining it here clearly, or it's not easy to find out this. The task A, let's say, is in a group alpha, and the task B or C may in a group beta, and D may in a group gamma, okay? And the alpha can be NLI task, beta can be QA task, group gamma can be reading comprehension task. So what they're facing is a NL, natural language inference task, but they're supposing they have the transcribed training data of different tasks, say QA or reading comprehension. I would say this setting is okay with me because lots of time the NLP folks are facing is that they're getting a new task, and this task doesn't have any training data recorded before, but they do have a lot of benchmarks or tasks, small tasks, big tasks, which has been accumulated in the past years. And the question is how they can leverage those existing training data to achieve the NLP task, which is unseen before. Okay, unseen. And this is inference on task A. This is obvious. And I think the interesting thing they also proposed is the instruction tune. What they actually doing is that, let's take this one for example. So instead of, for example, this is QA, right? Yeah, this is QA. For instance, the question is this movie. This is premise, right? This is premise or the background, and the question is, does this guy like it? And the answer could be yes or no. So I think traditional people just train whatever they do is. I think what they do is they put the premise plus the question all together. All together. This is words. They use this as an input. Okay. And they could use, no, this is training a encoder. So what they're actually doing is they're doing this. Premise plus questions, and they mask the answer. And not good writing. I hope you can understand this answer. Let me try to put it like this. They're trying to train a encoder or pre-trained model. The output is this. And the input is premise plus question plus occasionally mask the answer. So here I meant mask with probabilities, right? This one is, I think this is what the GPT guys were doing, or other guys, GPT-3 guys were doing this. And the author said that they have another way of doing this. But what they're doing is that they are structuralize the input and output. For instance, very good. They're using the concept of template. So what is a template? It has something. Yeah, you see? Let's see the figure 4. So instead of just sending all the raw text into the encoder and expecting the encoder to output the exact text in the output of the encoder output, they are structuralize this raw text into this style by applying different types of templates. And you can see, you may ask why they're doing this. My understanding of this is that they are introducing expert knowledge into the encoder training. So the encoder knows, instead of just treating all the text as indiscriminately, the encoder knows that, okay, this part of the sentence is premise, this part of is question, and this part is answer, or the answer part is missing, right, during training. And then and later on, I think, suppose you can see there are different tasks, right? They're just doing holding one out. Suppose they're trying to tackle the natural language inference task. They're training a model using all the rest training sets from all the rest tasks. So I guess all the other tasks have the part called the option or answer, right? So those things could be important for the natural language and inference. So do the answer prediction stuff. And let me try to explain this. Okay. So say, can give you example. Okay. This is NLI. This is QA, and for different templates, I think they can have a premise, a hypothesis, an option, and whatever. Let's call that WX. Not an NLP guy, so I really don't know how those things are. Let's call it WXY. So this is the stuff you're trying to solve, but maybe QA doesn't have. Maybe it doesn't have a W, but it has option or hypo. Doesn't have premise, I guess. And also, if you look at the comprehension, maybe it also has premise, right? But maybe it doesn't have a hypothesis, but maybe have some other things, right? In this way, when you're using all the rest of tasks to learn the correlation or self-attention between the words, they're capable
Hey,
to
can we
find
turn?
out.
Can I turn on my camera or
Oh, go ahead, please.
is? Oh, can y'all turn on your camera too? Because I will feel uncomfortable if it's just only me.
I have to say that the thing is, I'm using the OBS to record. I don't know how to uh, share the camera with you. You see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But
thank you,
let me
thank you.
finish the recording and let me
Can you?
explain to you later on, okay?
All right, can Sam turn on his camera so I could just turn it on too?
Yeah, you want to turn on, that's fine. Fine. Um, and and you can see that. So for other tasks, they have these items in the templates. So I think during training, my hunch was that the training algorithm was capable of finding the correlation or relations between those different items in the templates. So when it's trying to resolve the unseen task, they're gonna be capable of using all the correlation they learned before. Okay. And they also have some interesting thing mentioning here. You can see figure 7. What they're suggesting here is that you can see the black curve is the baseline or something that people will always do, like training let's say doing the mask language model training. But the blue curve is the instruction tuning using template, right? And they're saying that if your model size is smaller, you may not get a good result because it's not capable of learning, as mentioned in their Google's AI blog. But and their the result shows that when your model size gets really large or big, you're really gonna get a huge amount of gain compared to your baseline, which is fairly exciting. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. Any questions?